Hello, 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 hello. Sean Brady here with another fabulous Medici Media Place podcast. I'm here with the fabulous, as always, David Berger. David,
Thanks,
how you doing
Sean.
today?
I'm doing good.
You're looking good, feeling good.
January will be 25 years.
Nice. So you've seen a few things.
Just a few, yes.
And what I know the backstory, but share with the audience, what's your backstory? What had you go into this great, awesome business of marketing?
Actually, I come from an entrepreneurial family. Both my mom and dad ran their own businesses, started their own businesses, and were running those when I was a kid. And I kind of liked watching that.
A little bit, right?
Grew up around that, and when it got to the point where there was something I wanted to do, I went out on my own and decided to do it as well.
So you've been doing a fun couple of things over the years.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. So we're going to be talking some awesome marketing stuff. Mm-hmm. And in a moment, I'll walk around with my other camera here and show some of the fun stuff here at Medici. But, hey, Matt DeRyan in the background.
Hey,
Not
Matt.
only is he watching, he's watching.
I'm
Oh, that'd be awesome. That's a double live right there.
Yeah.
But Matt, of course, is one of our other members from Medici Marketplace.
Yes. Matt and I work together on things.
On a bunch of different things.
Yes.
So the thing I've been asking different members is, what are a couple, three things that other business owners, people challenged with marketing in their own business? You mentioned it for your family business at one point. What are the things that you see many other businesses could be doing, maybe should be doing, that they're not doing, and it drives you nuts? Is there anything like that?
Yes. Generally, logos are what drive me nuts. You have companies who think they can skip that to begin with and not have a brand, and then they fall behind somebody else who came out brand new, even though they're a 30-year-old company. They have somebody kicking their butt, basically, because they have the right type of marketing, and they took care of things they needed to take care of. If you put your brand in place off the bat, people know who you are, they recognize you, they come back to you. Then after that, yes, it is about experience, and people want to work with somebody with experience. But if you've ever looked at business cards for two different companies and seen one that looks really nice and seen one that doesn't look so nice, generally you sort of lean towards the one that looks nice.
And, you know, I would even take it a step further. Having you be the design of my logo for Sean Brady Sales Enablement and Selling Strategy, I thought I had a good logo. And it was, I guess it was okay. It worked. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's better than just my name on a business card.
Yeah.
But you really educated me. And my background is organizational corporate communications, very tightly affiliated with marketing. But you brought in some thoughts and ideas around logo design that I never even considered.
Yeah.
And, you know, things like, how's it going to look on different mediums?
Yeah.
Not just on the internet, not just on paper, but on printed materials, on everything.
It makes a difference if, there are a lot of, online services that are out there. The major issue with the online services is you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So if you spend $150, $250 to try and get a logo created through an online service, they don't do any research. They don't make sure you have it in all the formats you need. They don't make sure that the lines aren't too thin so it's not going to work for embroidery. They don't look at all the other things that are necessary to look at. And you could get in serious trouble off a few different issues. One being, they didn't research to find out if your logo looks like any other logo.
Right.
And there's some other company using a logo exactly like yours or real close to it.
Don't do that.
Who can then sue you. And then you have to change your logo out anyway.
Right.
Or the other issue you have is you get a logo that's in a low-res format, and that's all you have. And then you try and go and get a sign made, and that's when you find out it won't work.
Yeah.
And then you have to have somebody take that logo and change it into a version that you can use for that.
I think when I used an online service, I used Fiverr for one of my other ones, and exactly what he said, and I thought it was fine. And it probably was had I not been educated in this more astutely. But I did have a couple formats. But I only had I think really 2 that stood out. But the thing that I remember thinking to myself was, it's like, this is good, but I don't know if this really, is this really the best for me? I'm glad I have something.
Right.
But it's kind of like going to the dance with somebody or going to the dance with that person you really wanted to ask out the whole year, and then you did in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, by the way. It's just an example. Yeah. But something similar to that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's really about trying to make sure that you have a brand. You have something that's recognizable to somebody, something that people are going to look at it and it's going to catch their attention.
Yeah.
So then when they see other stuff coming from you, they're like, oh, yeah, I know that company.
Speaking of attention grabbing, who's that little character behind us?
That would be Zagger.
Zagger?
Yes. Zagger is based on a marketing concept. The idea behind Zagger is don't zigzag. Zag is changing direction. It's looking at things differently. It's standing out from the crowd. It's trying to get noticed. Anyone who knows anything about marketing knows that's the main part of marketing. You have to get noticed.
Right.
You can create the best marketing message in the world and everything else. If it's not done right and people don't notice it, it's not going to help. No one will read it.
We were talking a little bit about this with the soda example.
Yes.
You think of sodas and it's not a crazy huge thing, but it is.
Yeah.
And what was the example you were giving? It was you tell me.
You're talking about Jones Soda?
Jones Soda, yeah. We were just talking about it.
So, Jones Soda, just off marketing, they didn't really have anything that unique, but they marketed it the right way. They took something that the other soda companies, Pepsi and Coke, weren't doing,
right,
and they decided their company was going to be about that. So the other companies could definitely do that, and they've caught up at this point. But Jones Soda was based on putting out a product that had pure cane sugar in it. That was the way they sweetened their product.
And it wasn't like it was a huge change in recipe or something like that. But it was really all marketing.
It was all marketing in that. They had colorful drinks. Their bottles were pretty simple, straightforward, where you could see all the colors. So they had a nice marketing campaign. People noticed it.
Hey, did you see Envision from Chicago was down there, and Michael Tobin? You know Michael.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and Brett C. Klein. Hey there. Great stuff. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. And we have a bunch of other people looking on as well. So remember, type in something, say hello. We'll give you a shout out wherever you're at. And he's up in Chicago. I know Michael's probably, 30, 40
Michael's
miles.
all over the place.
He's all over. He's probably in another county right now.
Yeah.
But so marketing.
Yes,
makes the difference because they, while Coke and Pepsi are certainly the big mainstays in the marketplace for a short time, they really Jones Soda kicked butt.
Oh yeah,
I mean it was
they made a major name for themselves in a very short amount of time.
And it wasn't like it was the low end product. It was, I recall, it was like almost $1 a soda.
Yeah, oh yeah, they put themselves out there as a premium product.
Yeah.
In the same market. In fact, in some cases, they were thought of as higher end. So
marketing.
It was a major deal.
Marketing sugar water. Maybe we should do that.
Sounds good.
But you've helped a bunch of companies. Yeah. Is there any other things that businesses could watch out for? Again, maybe it's another pet peeve of yours. It's like, oh my gosh, just do this, people. Just do it. Be happier.
Well, yeah. Trying to stay consistent with their marketing, so a complete brand. So a lot of companies will put some, they'll finally get a logo together, but then they don't worry about what they put on their website or what they put on flyers, and you see this stuff, and the website looks one way, the business card looks one way, the flyer looks one way, and you look at all of it and you're like, okay, is this the same company?
Exactly.
Your logo is what starts your brand. It creates a look and feel, a style, has some colors to start with. You generally have primary colors from the logo, secondary colors that you use in the brand, and you generally want to create a branding guide that actually gives you guidelines for your company So then everything that's done can fit those branding guidelines and can be consistent. So then when somebody goes to your website, they see something which looks, oh yeah, that looks similar to the artwork used on the business card.
Right.
They get a e-newsletter sent to them. They recognize it because they've seen the website and they've seen the business card. So that's a key thing with companies, and a lot of companies think they can just skip over that, and they're going to catch up on it later. It's going to hurt you in the long run.
Yeah, it's what was the old phrase? Don't be penny wise and pound foolish, or dollar foolish, or I don't know whatever Bitcoin's going up to these days.
The one other one that old fashioned one was what was it? Don't get the cart ahead of the horse or something.
Right. Don't put the horse the cart before the horse.
Yeah. So that type of thing. I mean, you have to do things the correct way, look after your business the right way to grow and develop and build.
And there was one logo that I know you were. A couple of logos that I know you're really proud of. They're probably like your children after a while, right? Or my children is like, which one's my favorite? I'm not going to say, but I only have one right now. Yeah. But I know you mentioned a couple. Mm-hmm. One, a local company, Chesterfield Fence.
Yes.
And you've been working with them for 17 years.
Yes.
There was also Lindenwood University.
Yes.
Which, so what you said that the logos that they're all using.
Well, I didn't create the lion head itself.
Okay.
That was already existing at the time.
Great.
But I did. They needed a few years ago they were trying to move from club sports to Division II sports in a number of different areas. And the NCAA is kind of strict on their guidelines. They need everything to be in order.
Right.
So when I came into this picture looking at things, they had different logos for every single sport in the school. And they had different color sets too. So not any two sports in the entire school had the same gold used.
Really?
They were all different gold colors, all different lions even. They weren't using the same lion head, even though they had one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was just a mess.
So you unified everything.
We unified everything, created a whole set of logos and a whole guideline for them. And that's what you see when you see people walking around with Lindenwood University stuff on for the volleyball team or the hockey team or
just a sweatshirt,
everything else, all the stuff that had all the merchandise. I created all the logos that are going on all that.
So
my company.
Good job for unification.
Oh, I love doing it. It was a lot of fun, and it's great to be walking around and see someone walking in wearing college kid walking in wearing the sweatshirt.
But even more so,
I did that.
Well, not only did you do that, but I think even for them, for the university,
it was a big deal.
Now their teams are unified. I mean, we don't think about this all the time, but where in your business is there disunification?
Oh yeah,
if that's a word. But you really brought some consistency, and that's one thing I've learned from not just you, but a lot of the Medici marketplace members is this consistency. I knew about consistency, but really stepping it up a level so that everything's the same. I mean, even the way we're formatting our podcast, Facebook Live, and YouTube videos, which we're all shooting right now, there is a strategic platform that goes into all this.
Right.
So there's no accidents by anything we're doing by any stretch of the imagination. So thank you for sharing that, David.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you for spending time with us today. Is there anything else you'd like to add right now, or should we just do that in a future episode?
Well, the only thing I'd like to add is marketing is very important to a company. And if you would like to talk to me at some point, I'm available in envisionbydesign.com. That's spelled with an E, so it's ENVISION by BY design DESIGN.com, or the phone number is 314-276-9524.
Perfect.
Be glad to sit down and talk to you and evaluate your marketing and give you suggestions.
Awesome. David, thank you. I'll make sure I post all that stuff in the show notes. And hey, Steven Sikich, out there again, happy day. And I'm going to pause this one.
Okay.
And our podcast is still running. Thank you for being here on the Sean Brady Show, interviewing Medici Marketplace, David Berger. Thank you so much.
I had a shot and he was crying, so he looked to me. He was fighting at me.
Oops.